Today, I've arrived at Zhongshan Park near Tiananmen, our first stop on the Central Axis, the Shejitan, or Temple of Earth and Grains. Shejitan's name has a special significance.
I'm in the middle of the centre of the middle, that's right, the most central, the most middle place in the whole world. Why do I say that? Well, I'm here in the Middle Kingdom, I'm in the centre of politics and culture of the Middle Kingdom, Beijing, and in Beijing I'm standing right on the Central Axis line. And where on the Central Axis line am I? I'm in the place where people have come for centuries to do sacrifice and to do homage to the tutelary spirits of that most central of human concerns, getting enough food, agriculture and grain. Okay, and behind me here is the famous 5-colour dais, which has, as you can see, 5 different types of soil from different parts of China. So this red soil here right in front of me comes from, I just can't quite remember. The red soil comes from, can anyone help me?
The red soil symbolizes the south, and it literally comes from the south. And it symbolizes fire as the color itself. And on the left, that's the white soil. It comes from the west, and it symbolizes golds and metals. And on the farthest corner, that's sort of like the north end of the entire plateau. That's the black soil, and that symbolizes the water. And on the right, this is sort of like a greenish blue soil, and it symbolizes the east and wood. And in all of the middle, the yellow soil in the middle, that is just symbolizing the soil.
Right. So the yellow soil symbolizes soil, right?
Yeah.
So we have wood, we have fire, we have water, we have soil, we have metal, and these are what we call the 5 elements, the wuxian, right?
Yeah.
The she in Sheji can be translated as earth or soil, and ji means grains. These are the 2 basic elements that people's survival depends on. Therefore, in China, people often used to refer to the nation as Sheji. Within China's almost pantheistic worldview, being pretty vital stuff, she and ji inevitably became thought of as major deities. So, 2 descendants of Yendi, Golong and Ben, were given the honour of playing the role of the god of She and the god of Ji. And Shejitan, where I am today, is consecrated to them. The 5-colour dais is the main attraction of Shejitan. That's basically its meaning. I hope it didn't leave you more confused. How seriously did the emperor treat Shejitan? Firstly, for the sake of convenience, it's located just to the right of the Central Axis's most core district in the west of Tiananmen, only 1 kilometre from the palace. Why is it on the right of the Central Axis? Because in China they say, ancestors on the left and she on the right. I'm talking left and right, by the way, from the perspective of the emperor, sitting on his south-facing dragon throne. So on the left is a shrine for honouring ancestors, while Shejitan is on the right. So how regularly did the emperor worship here? At least twice a year, once for the winter solstice and once for the summer solstice, each time bringing ministers of all ranks to perform sacrifices. That would have been quite the occasion. The whole place thronging with people meticulously performing the rites, all kinds of offerings, everyone looking solemn and taking it all very seriously. No matter what the weather, they would all come. I don't think even the Greek gods were treated so well. Gaia and Demeter would be jealous. Of course, although I just said they wouldn't postpone for rain or wind, the emperor's piety alone surely wasn't enough to ensure that he would endure it. There must have been some kind of contingency plan. For example, this small place in front of me called Bai Dian, or Worship Palace.
Well, when the appointed day comes for a ceremony or a sacrifice, you can't let wind or rain or other inclement weather get in the way. But what if there really is wind or really is rain? On the other hand, you can't leave the emperor standing out in this kind of weather. So that's where this building comes in.
We filmed this in November, just a month before the winter solstice. Despite protecting myself with the most advanced fabrics of modern attire, I'm still sniffling and snuffling, so we can imagine what it must have been like in traditional garb. If the emperor had to face bitter winds to perform sacrifices, his piety would be clear for all to see. So, would the She god and the Ji god, moved by this show of devotion, protect the dynasty? This Bai Dian, for protecting the emperor from the elements, was eventually renamed the Zhongshan Hall, after Sun Yat-sen, whose Chinese name is Sun Zhongshan, who overthrew the Qing dynasty, ending Chinese imperial rule. I think She and Ji are like most deities, generous and fair. They brought good harvests to past generations of labourers and golden ginkgo leaves to today's urban aesthetes. But they are not controlled by people's will, always seeking after renewal. So anyone seeking their blessing must ensure that they are innovative and hard-working enough. As the great sage himself said, it's better to rely on yourself than on gods or other men. Well, that's the wisdom of Confucius and China's wisdom, as well as wisdom for the world.